Hi everyone, Mega Heavy Biscuit here. Yes, this is a very special and different video. This is far different than my usual game videos. And that's because of a special milestone that's for me today. Before I start this video, I just want to say this is in no way telling people that they have to or need to quit smoking. If you don't want to quit, that's cool. It's your life. You can live it the way you want to live it. I'm not going to tell you what you should do. However, if you're thinking of quitting or have tried in the past, then please listen to what I have to say regarding quitting smoking and hopefully give you some tips slash words of wisdom on it. Before I go into the tips, I'm going to go into my smoking history so that way you know that I'm literally not smoking mirrors, that I've actually been smoking for a long time. The first cigarette I had at the age of 7. I was in the car with my mom and her friend, and I asked if I could try. It seemed cool at the time. What did I know? And they said yes. They wanted to teach me a lesson. I took a puff, and I fell out of the car gagging. I literally felt like I was going to die. And they started laughing, and they said to me, "So do you feel like smoking?" And I was wheezing, and the only thing I could muster up was no. The first full cigarette I had at the age of 11. My brother gave it to me. It wasn't as bad as the first puff I had when I was 7, but it was by no means fun. Once I hit 15, I took one from my uncle, and that's when I got hooked on it. I was only smoking like a few here or there, so at that time it really wasn't a bother. There are many people who start off, because you start off not smoking a lot. You start off smoking a few cigarettes a day. And you think, oh, that's okay, I can quit. Trust me. Quit while you're young. Quit while you're only smoking a few. Because that would have been, I want to say 1999 or 2000 when I started. 1999. And when I hit in 2004, I was smoking still maybe like 4 a day. And then once I got a job at this one place, it was bad. This place had so much stress, and I was up to 8 to 10 a day. Literally, as soon as I left work, I was smoking like 3 cigarettes in a row, which is really bad. And when I was at the end of my days of smoking, I was up to about a pack and a half. Before I quit smoking, I was smoking for 15 years. I have failed more times than people have tried to quit smoking. Okay? I mean, quitting smoking is not easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's the be all, end all, easy way to do it, because it's not. Quit smoking literally sucks. But so does smoking. I mean, there's a fine line. Now, the milestone I mentioned before is today, October 2nd, is the first full year of me being smoke free. I quit smoking. My first time of not smoking was October 2nd, 2013. I wanted to go through a life change. And I decided the night before when I had the last cigarette that was going to be the last one. And I would like to impart some words of wisdom on you. First things first, quitting smoking is like anything in life. You need to be in the right state of mind, whether it be quitting smoking, losing weight, any types of drugs or alcohol. If you're trying a lifestyle change, forcing it right away to happen, for the most part, is the worst thing you can do. If you're stressed or angry or don't feel like quitting, do not try to quit smoking. You will fail. As smokers, we give ourselves endless amounts of excuses, and if we fail at quitting, it could take a while. In my case, it took a year and a half before I tried again. I quit smoking in summer of 2002. It was, I believe, July. And I quit for 23 days and I started smoking again because I let myself fail. And as soon as I failed, it took me from July of 2012 to October of 2013 before I can quit again. So you really can't force your state of mind to want to quit. You just have to literally, if you wake up one day and you say, or even just at any point in time in the day, you say, I really want to quit smoking. Do it. Do not say after this pack or after this cigarette. Because I've been in the middle of a cigarette, smoking a cigarette and going, I really want to quit smoking after this cigarette. And then I would finish the cigarette, then I wouldn't want to quit. We lose that state of mind. It's not like once you get it, you have it forever. Once you lose it, you lose it. And you have to wait till it comes back again. So you have to be at like the right point in time. Like, you miss it, you have to wait till you're ready again. If you fail, do not let it drag you down. Setbacks happen always. Life teaches us that. Sometimes you fail, but it's about how you get back up that determines how you'll handle the situation. I failed and it took me a year and a half. I mean, that's really bad. And failure is something you shouldn't be afraid to do. If you're scared to fail or quit smoking, which some of us are, even if we think we're not, you won't even realize it. What'll happen is you'll smoke. As a smoker, we smoke, and then we self-doubt ourselves. Like, well, I've been smoking for 15 years. Why could I be able to quit now? Why would I quit now? And then when you try to quit, you're subconsciously looking for excuses on why you would fail. And sometimes, without even realizing it, we force ourselves to fail. And like that's why I said you really can't force the situation. So just make sure you take the time. You quit when you're ready. There are people who say, oh, you should just quit right away. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't really know addiction. It's not a light switch. You can't just flip it and turn it off. At that point in time, that's 15 years of smoking built up to that day. You can't reverse 15 years of smoking in one day. Just wake up, go, wow, I quit. I mean, in my case, I've been trying for so long that I finally hit it. And I'm going to go through the various ways that you can quit too soon, because I've tried just about them all. First, though, if you've never tried to quit smoking, you have to know that the first 3 days are going to be the worst. They're going to be rough, like horrid rough. You're going to go through the addict's withdrawal, and I have one piece of advice. You're going to feel tired. Sleep. Trust me, sleep is great because as smokers, we look for excuses. You can use sleep as an excuse. If you're awake for, let's say, 18 hours on that first day, or through the first few days, then you've been awake for 18 hours and slept for 6. 6 hours in that day, you didn't smoke, but because you were sleeping. And for the people who don't smoke, they would think, well, that's a stupid excuse. Trust me, we're smokers. We find excuses for anything. But if you sleep more, you can use that trick to help you well with smoke and mirrors. If you slept for an extra 3 or let's say 4 hours that day, you've been awake for 14 and you slept for 10. In that day, you've had less time to be awake and less time to be craving that cigarette. Trust me, it works. You'll be tired anyway because of the changes happening in your body, so sleep is actually good for you. The first 2 to 3 days, I would really recommend just, if you're tired, you need sleep, go to sleep. Um, this one's kind of tricky to do. You have to try to reduce the stress in your life for the first week that you're trying to quit. As smokers, we really go into, oh crap, stress, give me a smoke. Okay, cigarettes would calm me down. I know cigarettes calmed other people down. If we were ever stressed, we would literally just go right for that cigarette. My first stress trigger was actually after that week. And in all honesty, if I had that in the first few days, I would have failed. But because I made it a week, I was able to not smoke during that stress trigger. So, get some sleep and try to reduce stress. I know it's hard. Especially like if you have to go to work, it's not easy. It's really not easy. Maybe take like a few days off, go somewhere, relax. Okay, now there are many different ways that you could quit smoking. Okay, you can use the patches. I have never used them in my life, but I found them worse, in my opinion, for people. As since you smoke, you're addicted to nicotine. And when you have the patch on you, you're going to become dependent on the patches because you're getting nicotine automatically pumped into your body on a regular basis. It's not like it comes in, then it shuts off, then it comes in. It's constantly putting nicotine in you. I never liked that because I wanted to regulate the amount of nicotine that came into me. I didn't want something automatically putting it in me. The second way to quit smoking are lozenges. Now they have regular sized ones and they have the minis. I've tried the regular sized ones. They suck because they taste like crap. I've heard that the minis are actually far better. I've never tried them. They're really great for people though because you can literally suck on them when you want to subdue that craving. And many people will turn to them easily after some use instead of a cigarette. So it's just another thing to think about. They do come in different flavors. But I have heard that the mini ones are far better than the regular sized giant ones. Another way you can quit is gum. Gum is great, but it's a little strong in regards to the flavor, especially if you're the type of person like me and swallows your saliva. It's really strong. So, and you also have to be careful because I'm the type of person that swallows gum. So I had to be super careful when I used it. And I actually used the gum for the first time I was quitting, or not the first time, but the first almost successful time of the 23 days. I was using the nicotine gum. Another way are e-cigarettes. These things are amazing, but they can also be really bad. E-cigarettes are great because it literally is, essentially water vapor and nicotine. The problem is as a smoker, you're still doing that smoking habit, that smoking movement, bringing the cigarette to your mouth, puffing, that whole movement. It's going to make you more subconsciously think of having a cigarette. Yes, they are great because you can go from, I think the most that I did was like 40 something milligrams nicotine down to 0. But you're still doing that movement. They can help you. And even if you got it down to 0, you could still keep doing the movement using 0 milligrams of nicotine. That all the flavors you can get are out there with the things. I mean, it's a really amazing one. And it's probably one of the best ways to quit smoking. Even though you're still doing the movement and you'd be more inclined to smoke, if you can cut it down to 0 milligrams and you're literally just doing water vapor, sooner or later you can cut back the movements and then just quit completely. And finally, cold turkey. This is the way I did it the last time. The time that I've been quit smoking now for a year. I did it cold turkey because I literally was in the right state of mind. Like I said, you can't rush it. And when you get it, use it. I literally woke up as an ex-smoker. I was done. I could have went out and said, you know what, forget it, I want a cigarette. But because I finally listened to my body and said, you know what, I am done, I have not touched a cigarette in about a year. I've actually picked some up from people for family from stores, and it doesn't bother me. But as far as actually like touching the actual cigarette or smoking, I have not done that since October 1st of 2013. If you're gonna quit cold turkey, gum, gum, gum. And I don't mean the nicotine, the Nicorette gum. I mean any kind of gum. Buy it, a lot of it, and chew it. The reason is you want to give yourself something to do. Chewing gum can help reduce stress, which is, as we know, smokers use cigarettes to reduce stress. So, kind of like a win-win here. Okay? It also gives you flavor. Some people like sucking on hard candies. I really prefer just using gum. It really helps out a lot. And there's one thing you need to know if you're gonna quit smoking. You will gain weight. I will repeat that. You will gain weight. Cigarettes are a natural appetite suppressant. If you smoke, you could find yourself sometimes not feeling all that hungry, or even if you're kind of hungry and you have a cigarette, you notice you're not really that hungry anymore. Yeah, that's one of the things cigarettes can actually do. It can actually decrease your natural appetite. I gained 20 pounds in chocolate in the first 4 months of quitting smoking. I didn't spend any less money in the first 4 months. I just spent it on chocolate. Now, I don't care because I quit smoking, and after that 4 months, I quit the cravings. You will gain weight. So don't freak out about that, but also don't overdo it. I know someone who gained 80 pounds in a year. I gained a total of 22. Now, even though you will gain weight, you should try to control how much you allow yourself to eat, because we don't want you quitting smoking to be healthy, to only gain almost 100 pounds in food, because that would be bad. Okay? That's another reason why people love like the hard candies, and that's why I love the gum. But you will gain weight, and this is because of the fact that you've been suppressing your appetite with cigarettes. Secondly, if you're gonna smoke cigarettes, or if you're smoking cigarettes, not if you're going to, please don't start. But if you're smoking cigarettes, you're smoking haha quote unquote good cigarettes like Camels, Marlboros, etc., etc. Start to switch to American Spirit cigarettes. Let me explain. American Spirits are just high quality tobacco, and it'll take some time to get used to them because of this one reason. When you smoke, you're not just addicted to the nicotine and the tobacco and the tar and everything that's in that cigarette, that's in all cigarettes, but you're addicted to all the poisons, all the toxins, all the extra crap that's in Camels, in Marlboros. You see them on TV like the arsenic. All of the poisons that are in a regular cigarette, you become addicted to. The thing with the American Spirits is it is pure, high-quality tobacco. Now, I'm not saying that any one cigarette is healthier than another, because, let's be honest, except for the e-cigarettes, if you're smoking water vapor, there are no healthy cigarettes. But the natural American Spirits, you're still getting the same smoke from a cigarette. It's a little lighter. It'll take some time getting used to, but you're going to go through a withdrawal. And that withdrawal you're going to go through when you're smoking them is your body's wanting all that extra crap back that you're not smoking. But the greatest thing is it's easier to quit smoking, in my opinion, off of the American Spirits, because it literally is just tobacco. You go through, because I went through two withdrawals. I went through one withdrawal of switching over to American Spirits, and then I went into a withdrawal when I quit. And I've been smoking American Spirits for 2-3 years now before I quit. So you're detoxing your body from the crap while you're still smoking. And once you get used to the American Spirits, you can smoke those until you want to quit. Okay, it's really just high quality tobacco. And if you're smoking cigarettes and you want to quit, please switch to them as you're smoking. Maybe if you buy 2 packs, buy a pack of each. Okay, that's what I started doing. I started smoking Camels and American Spirits at the same time, weaning myself off the Camels into the American Spirits. And in closing, just want to go over some things again. Again, the first 3 days are going to be harsh. They will be the worst days of this experience. I'm actually going to give you a breakdown. First week will be a struggle. Okay, the first 3 days are the hardest. Once you get over the first 3 days, though, that's like, those are like the golden marks. Once you get past the first 3 days, you're technically already detoxed. You're still craving, but your body is technically done with the cigarettes. First week will be a struggle, though. Once you hit the first week, you'll think, oh, I went through this first 3 days, I'm good. No, what happens is, and even now, I still wish I had a cigarette. But I won't smoke. Those go away. I get them like, they're rare, once a month maybe. And you'll go through these, like all of a sudden, like the first week, you'll get hit with a really bad craving, like, wow, I really want a cigarette. The next milestone will be the first month. All of a sudden, 30 days later, you might go, wow, I really want a cigarette. But don't. Tell yourself that you already made a month. If you make a month, honestly, you really don't need the cigarettes. Okay? You're always gonna want to smoke. Like I said, that I get them like once a month. Problem is do not fall into that craving. Every like I said, every month I have a feeling, sometimes a couple times a month, I'll say to myself, it's nice to have a cigarette. But I don't miss the cigarette. I miss the act of smoking. And that's because while I don't want the cigarette, I still miss just relaxing, having a cigarette, hanging out with people. Problem is these cravings last like 5 minutes. If you have a craving and you say, screw it, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to go out and get a pack of cigarettes. Problem is, right there, you've already failed. You can't, even trying to stop yourself from buying the cigarette then, you're just going to keep thinking about that craving. And that's how I failed that time for 23 days. I said I was going to get a cigarette, I was done, then I said, nah, I'm not. And then I literally could not stop thinking about smoking for like the next 6 hours, and I literally said, screw it, and I went and got cigarettes. The cravings last about 5 minutes, give or take, depending on your situation. Meaning, if you have a craving and you go and get that cigarette, the act of going to get that cigarette, that craving's going to last forever until you get the cigarette. If you don't, in about 5 minutes that craving goes away and you're done. And literally, like, even talking about cigarettes now and talking about how I get cravings, I don't have one. I might have one later, but like I said, for me, in about 5 minutes, it'll go away. So, just let the craving ride out, and you can carry on to your ex-smoking days. And like I said, this video is in no way telling you you have to quit or you should quit. I would tell it to my friends, but I wouldn't just tell it to a random person. It is a lifestyle choice and it's their choice. If someone wants to smoke, go right ahead. I used to use it as a stress reliever. It would really help me. Um, and I really never liked when people who didn't smoke would come up to me and be like, "Oh, you should quit smoking." It's like, "Oh, why don't you worry about your own life?" And that's what this video is not about. This video is trying to give people some words of wisdom. Hopefully, you'll listen to them and try them. As a smoker trying to quit smoking, the worst thing you can do is not try. Actually, that's the second worst thing. The worst thing to do is not listen to your body when your body says, I'm done. I've had my body say I'm done and I've ignored it and I've paid the price. Okay, I was smoking for about 15 years when I finally quit. So hopefully this video gave you some insight. Whether you've tried to quit smoking in the past or you've never tried, I hope that this video can help you in any way. If you have any questions on smoking or trying to quit, you can leave them in the comments below, and I will answer any and every question that I can answer. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I know this one is different, but I needed to get this one out to people because, like I said, I've been smoke free for a year today. And I was smoking for a really long time and I really didn't want to quit until all of a sudden my body says, you know what? I'm done. And I woke up and said, okay, I'm going to listen to it this time. And I'm so glad I did. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, and good luck on your quitting smoking adventures.